Hi guys, welcome. I'm Jennifer and I am with the Breamery. And today I've got Madeline here from Hadley. She's one of our newer brands that we've brought on, and they are just amazing, amazing bacon bits that are toppers for different kinds of things. We've in-house used it on different things, but it is our product of the month for January 2026. So there's an opportunity to try any one of her three bacons. And then it will be in our subscription box for February in our Pizza de Amore box as a great topping for a pizza with feta and white sauce or something, and maybe like some veg and some arugula. So anyway, I wanted to introduce Madeline. And, one of the promises of the box is to share with people like your backstory and like, what did you do before this? How long have you been doing it? And how'd you get started?
Yeah. Thank you for having me. It's definitely been an interesting journey to get to where I am today doing this. My background, I was a plant-based private chef for several years. Yeah. So I just noticed that the foods I was preparing for my clients really were not available at grocery stores. So, for example, the coconut bacon bits, which are on the product of the month this
Yep.
month, are made out of coconut. There's no gluten, soy, weird fillers and things. And of course, especially when I was dreaming this all up in 2018, you go into the grocery store and any plant-based meat was made out of really strange ingredients. So I saw a gap there as well with my cheese, which I was making for everybody as well, which is made out of cashews. So that's kind of what inspired me to launch something. And ignorance is bliss too, because it's a crazy
It is.
industry, but it's very inspiring to see people take something from nothing and go with it. So
Yeah.
yeah, just
And
keeping.
then you had mentioned you have a new pistachio uh,
Yeah.
farm.
Well, so it's a pistachio crumble. Actually, my buyer had asked me to create this for her pasta sauce set. So it sits next to the Parmesan with the
Hmm.
pasta sauces. And she had hoped that people would put it on like a gnocchi with cream sauce or use it in various pasta dishes. But it's also great on everything avocado
Yeah.
toast, ice cream.
That's what I was totally, I love avocado toast. So I was like, that would be just beautiful.
Mhm.
Yeah, very cool. So you started with the three products. When did you launch your business?
So I started with just the original and it looked way different. Whole rebrand too. That's a whole other story. But so I came up with the idea in 2018. I knew, having worked in commercial kitchens before, I also had a meal prep business at one point, that I didn't want to go that route of making it myself because that can be such a bottleneck to grow.
Yeah,
So it took me a long time to find a bakery that was willing to work with me when I was just starting out.
very cool. I'm not going to ask you to reveal them, but are there other plans for bringing on more kinds of products that are these sort of, they kind of like finish. There's nothing better than like the bacon bits on top of the avocado toast, like we talked about. And now I could imagine the pistachio. And I like the new really spicy one. It's got some kick, you know? I love it.
No, the habanero is my favorite. It's been really interesting to launch, like, because I have both a habanero and a spicy kind of meat.
Cayenne.
Yeah, the cayenne is
Yeah.
less spicy, but still has a kick. And it's funny, those are like when you like spice, you love those. Like those
Yeah.
are, which is like me. But I found that the majority of people that are shopping in grocery stores are more spice averse. So I'm kind of taking that into consideration as I develop more products. But I'm with you, habanero is my favorite.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think that that's one of the biggest things that's a distinction between the artisan level production and then the mass produced, like nationwide available in your conventional stores. That stuff, we see it when companies scale from being a small batch maker and scaling to where they've got national distribution and more traditional stores, that they have to start changing recipes to, make it either more shelf stable, or maybe they're changing the recipe to improve allergens, or reduce allergens, or to increase profitability. But it seems to always move into a direction where it's more bland, like more homogenized, more where everybody could like it. And then with the artisan level product, it seems to have, I mean, I think energetically, because it's got more love and passion, like that does transmute through the food. But I also think that there's a freedom and an ability for us to be more robust in our flavors, because you don't have to pander to the masses. And I see it with the clientele that we have. They get onto certain brands that they really like because they like that they've got a lot of flavor, or, certain qualities about it. So that's kind of indicative of what you're talking about. Like, you've got two spices and one more anybody could appreciate. And so I could see how that might be a challenge,
Yeah,
dealing
no,
with that.
it certainly is, especially having a kind of a culinary chefy background. I like to go with, out there, bold flavors, and yeah, not the generic, like you're saying, not bland, but just that appeal to a wide audience. So there's kind of an act to figure out what is going to be really loved by everyone, and then what is going to be really unique and interesting, and then figure out like where those products live. Maybe the habanero is only in kind of these specialty gourmet situations, and the original is everywhere.
Yeah. Well, do you know the brand Renegade? They do a salami. It's like it's a salami log, and they're excellent. And when they first launched, and I think it was 2018-ish, they had three flavors, like smoky, sweet, and chorizo, like spicy. Then it took several years, but they recently, like in the last year or two, launched with like four other flavors that are really almost avant-garde. They're very like they have a Budapesti one, and just really unique flavors that I don't know that would be something that would thrive at, like, I don't know, Vaughn's or Albertsons or Smart and Final, because the people there, they're buying just more mainstream, like very approachable flavor profiles, where again, I feel like that's one of the things that attracts people to artisan food, is that it's just got so much more going on, whether it's culturing or flavors or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it's nice to hear, companies innovating on bolder, more risky flavors.
Hmm.
There's certainly lots of places where you can find these products, like your business, for
Yeah.
example. And it's really wonderful to be able to seek that out, and then have things like that in your kitchen that add a lot of flavor, but also don't take a lot of preparation. So you
Yeah.
can mommy or shake my bacon bits on
And
it.
then like your bacon bits too, they're honest, they're clean, they're relatively, like they're not frankenfood, which there's so much stuff out there, especially in the vegan world, where it's just freaky food. So I love that about your product line. It's really true. It's true food. What other, like, so I use it in very conventional ways. What have been some of the more original or interesting ways people use the coconut bacon?
Yeah, well, I always tell people that it's a great like crispy pancetta substitute.
Uh,
So a gnocchi or a spaghetti dish, it adds that crispy umami kind of salty fattiness that you would get from a pancetta. Like I don't eat meat, so that's why I use the
yeah,
bacon bits. They're perfect for that. People put it on their ice cream. I've heard that
I've
too.
heard of that. I could see it. I think
Yeah,
it works.
it is good, especially with like peanut butter. I mean, I
Hmm.
like peanut butter and the coconut bacon bits on a toast or on ice cream. It's just so
Yeah.
versatile. You can put it on literally anything, roast
Yeah, I was
vegetable.
like baked potatoes, like that's a winner right there. And like I said, on the pizza, that's our theme for the month. It's so funny because you're in your kitchen, but I had thought this whole time that that was one of the backgrounds, because it seems to me I've seen a background like that. And then I saw a reflection of there's a gentleman who was cooking at the stove right there for a
I'm like,
second. So I'm like, oh, okay, it's a real kitchen.
yeah,
You have a
that's
beautiful kitchen.
thank you. Yeah, that was my husband. He was just
Yeah.
popping in for some lunch. Yeah, we just redid the whole kitchen. It was really rough before. We had like four different types of flooring in our house, and this whole island was like a wall.
It's beautiful now. I love the colors.
Thank you.
So is there anything in your R&D that you're looking at, that you'd be willing to talk about, that you're looking at bringing onto your product line?
Yeah, well, so the easy next thing with the Parmesans, I have two flavors coming out. I'm still working on perfecting those, and those should be hopefully available by March, definitely by
Mhm.
March. 'Cause we'll be at Expo West with our
So
innovation.
I'm coming, so we should try to make a plan to meet.
Yeah, well, I'll
Yeah.
have a booth, so I'll give
Okay.
you
Oh
the
yeah.
information so you can come by. So
Okay.
hopefully we're gonna have those, and you can test them out at the show.
Great.
And then there's another kind of topping that I'm working on, which is a very new idea of mine. And that will also hopefully be at the show for you to try. I don't want to give too much away, but it is definitely hitting on some current trends. And I think it's less of a kind of chefy, like there's a lot of flavor in it, but it's really to deliver more protein to your salad,
Mhm.
which people are looking for, how do you
It's a
incorporate
big thing.
that? So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited about that one too.
Yeah. I think we recently added, or we've been talking about adding a filter on the website, because protein is such a big thing right now. Yeah, I was going to say, there's certain flavors that everybody seems to go to when they start bringing flavors into like to add on to what their original product line was. And so, of course, spice is, one of those common ones. Also, truffle and garlic herb. And then another one is like tomato basil. So that's one of the things about Renegade that I really applaud them for really going outside of a construct that most are comfortable fitting inside of, because we know that people get it, and there'll be enough people that will like truffle, because some people it's a deal breaker. There's just no way they want it, but other people they're called to it.
Well,
So
you get one of them right here, but
yeah,
the other one, that will be more of a surprise.
yeah,
And I haven't seen anyone do this other flavor, so.
I love that. It's so cool. Were you trained? Like, did you go to school for culinary, or did you do something before culinary that something happened to move you in this direction?
Yeah, so I studied public health at school and
Mhm.
got a business minor, and I thought I wanted to be a naturopathic doctor. So I
Oh,
had, yeah, great opportunity to connect with a wonderful naturopathic doctor here in San Diego and her whole office. And we started that meal prep company together, cooking for the patients of the medical group. And that was everything low FODMAP, nightshade free, soy free, and all of this was, gosh, must have been 2016, 2017 when we did that. So before Blue Apron.
mhm.
So I didn't have any formal culinary training. I'd done a little bit of private chef work during college, just kind of on the side. And I just learned so much as I went. And this was before there were so many programs for plant-based cook
Mhm.
available. So yeah, self-trained, but I've spent a lot of hours in the kitchen.
Yeah, there's nothing like that kind of education, right? I mean, so yeah, kudos. You guys, you said you're going to be at Expo West. Is there anything else that you do? Like, do you do any kind of like dinner things with people? Are you doing anything with your chefing still?
Yeah, not yet. I have wanted to do like a pop-up dinner or something with the
Mhm.
brand and maybe even some other brands as well. I just haven't had the time yet to put that together, but I think that that would be really fun and shoot some content, like do some recipes together
Mhm.
and invite some people. So hopefully that's in the future.
I think that there's so much opportunity, and I come from a philosophy that there's enough for everybody, and in the vegan space, there's enough for everybody. And so it's one of the things I love about pretty much, I'd say pretty much all of the makers and all of the relationships that we've built. There's a synergy, or like we support each other, and we're not like necessarily threatened, worried that somehow that kind of competition is going to be harmful. I think it must be because we're all sort of to some extent mission driven, right? We want to see better for the world. We want to see better for like a bigger picture than just like what we're doing in our business in our little world. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful community for
Yeah,
sure.
also even ones that like people, I'm not the only one making the Parmesan and things like that. I mean, and all of us have been making this same probably rough Parmesan for like 15 years. But it actually helps to have more brands making these products because you're just driving more awareness from all pockets and communities, and it's making more of a demand. Like there's not one pasta brand on the shelf.
Right.
You have a variety. So I think that having multiple brands do these things is just kind of building out a category and more awareness, which is awesome.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I just want to thank you so much for your time today and for opening your home to share with us. And again, I'll just say we've got Madly Hadley's original in our box for February, and you can pick any one of her three bacons. We're looking at bringing in the Parmesan, but in the meantime, for this month's product of the month, you can scoop up any one of hers. Uh, they're all available now. And if you like a little bit of pica, go for the habanero. The cayenne is like it's really approachable. It's got a little bit of kick, but it's not at all like, oh, I need to take a glass of water or anything.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and they're just lovely, and they're just even good out of the bag. So thank you so much for the work that you're doing and for being part of our family. We appreciate
Yeah.
you.
Well, I love the community you've built and all the ways you're nurturing these relationships. It's really cool.
Yeah, well, thank you. So you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I appreciate your time today.
You too. Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.